Velder Beebe Show live in Dallas, Texas. How are you?
I'm great. How are you, Boulder?
Oh, I'm starting a week off great. I hope I can finish this good, Dr. Rutland, because it's pretty good today.
I love it when it's that way.
Yeah, I do too. I want to thank you for joining me. You're going to be talking about allergy and asthma, and I read the statistics of the number of people who suffer with allergies and asthma. So you're going to tell us, how many people is that actually affected by this?
Yeah, you got 50 million people that are actually affected by allergies in the United States. And when you really look at it in terms of seasonal allergy, it's about 1 in 4 people, so 25%, which is crazy when you look at those numbers. The other thing to think about is asthma, which is allergic inflammation of the pipes carrying air to the lung. This inflammation can be life-threatening. About 11 people a day die from asthma this day and age, which is crazy to think about, and that affects 25 to 30 million people in the United States.
When you talk about these people, when do they start being affected by the changes in spring weather, maybe?
As spring comes, right, we start to see plants growing again, flowers budding again, and in the process of them doing that, they're going to release pollens in the air. This pollen in the air is what can trigger a lot of the inflammatory response. You see, most people don't think about what happens. And what actually happens is in your upper airway and your lower airway and within your eyes, you have these epithelial cells that line those organs. And what they're supposed to do is protect you from the environment. And really what they are is they're a warning sign for your body. Sometimes people have this genetic predisposition to be able to get overwarned. And so because these cells are really scared and really spooked, they overwarn the immune system. The immune system comes rushing into those areas, causing that nasal congestion, causing that wheezing, that coughing, that shortness of breath, that itchy and watery eye. And when that happens, those cells release even more molecules, worsening symptoms. And that's what we're dealing with on a daily basis during the springtime, in allergy season, also in late summer during that grass season.
I want to remind my audience that I'm speaking with Dr. Cedric Jamie Rutland. He's a medical doctor, and he's a triple board certified pulmonary clinical care and internal medicine physician. So he comes well qualified to talk about the topic that he and I are discussing. Dr. Rutland, what can people do let's talk about the triggers. You talked about it broadly, but can you separate it for me? What triggers allergies and what triggers asthma? Or are they the same thing?
Yeah, what triggers allergies also triggers asthma. Asthma is just more specifically affecting the pipes that carry air to the lung. So asthma is very specific to the lung. It is allergic inflammation. Allergies in general, also obviously allergic inflammation, but they tend to take place in the nasal areas, the sinus areas, and that eye area where these people feel those hay fever type of symptoms, that itchy, watery eyes, that nasal congestion. And when you look at the triggers, very, very similar. Dust mites, grass antigen, tree antigen, pollens, air pollution, wildfire smoke, respiratory viruses, all of these things trigger an inflammatory response, which leads to symptoms of asthma and symptoms of allergy.
What can people do then to protect themselves, or is there any protection for the allergy and asthma sufferers this spring?
Yeah, there's protection. And so the way that I look at this protection is you can avoid the environment, stay indoors when those pollen counts are really, really high. The other things that you can also do is if you do come indoors from outside, because you got to be outside, which we all understand, take a shower, wash your hair, get rid of the clothes on your back, and start to inhale healthier air. An air purifier in the house can be really, really helpful as well, right? It will take all of those antigens out of the air, so that way you're breathing in a healthier environment. And then you want to use nasal decongestants, antihistamines, intranasal steroids, things of that sort, inhalers to calm down that inflammatory response so you don't have those symptoms as well.
My audience is on multiple platforms, radio, streaming, all those platforms. I'm going to take this one from Facebook. The poster says that they no longer wear their shoes in the house. Is this really helping?
Yeah, it's helping because when you think about where your shoes go, right, every time you take a step when you're outside, you're just picking up stuff from the ground. And the stuff that you're picking up from the ground can trigger allergies. If you can imagine walking in your house, and then if you have kids, I got kids, your kids are running right up the stairs, and as those feet are pounding that ground, these allergens get resuspended in the air only for mom and dad and people who have risk inhale, and that can lead to inflammation. So I think taking your shoes off before you walk in the house is paramount. It is very, very helpful.
There you go, poster. You get a little feng shui and a little medical advice, too. Okay, doctor, medication, though, is a big expense for allergy and asthma sufferers. You got any idea on how to save money?
Yeah, here's what we do in our practice is we understand that BuzzRx is a free prescription discount card and app service that allows patients to instantly save on medications. Here's how it works. In my practice, if you're coming to see me, what may happen is after we're done and I prescribe a certain medication, we're going to pull up the BuzzRx app, or we'll go to buzzrx.com. We'll put that medication at the top of the screen, right in that little search bar, and then we understand where that medication is available. Once we understand where that medication is available, patients can then see how much money they're going to save with the discount card that BuzzRx offers. I will send the prescription electronically to that CVS, that Walgreens, whatever pharmacy is in the area. Patients will use their discount card. They'll save money on that prescription. Up to 80% savings is what they'll save. And they can use this discount card whether they have insurance or they don't. This is what I think is important. This is what saves money. This helps my patients, and the medications help my patients feel better.
Before I let you go, so how do they get into the BuzzRx circle of help?
You know, the BuzzRx circle of help is a circle that I am very, very fond of. What patients can actually do is they can go to buzzrx.com and they can see all of the information there, or they can download the BuzzRx app on iOS or their Android system, and they'll find loads of information there, and I think it's extremely helpful for them. It saves them money, saves them time, and allows them to feel better about what they have to experience throughout their life.
Dr. Rutland, I want to thank you for stopping by the Valder Beebe Show. I love a physician that has answers, so thanks for being my guest on the Valder Beebe Show. I really appreciate it.
Hey, thank you a lot for having me as a guest. I'll see you next time.
Hi, I'm Valder Beebe, host of the Valder Beebe Show. We have over 1,000 videos on ValderBeebeShow.com and YouTube.com/ValderBeebe Show. We upload new videos daily. Our site is a modern baby boomer platform with news and information important to boomers. Subscribe to YouTube.com/ValderBeebe Show and stay connected as I interview the world's most fascinating people.